Hey Leo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we're going to take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, go check your other major placements. See if we can't connect on those. Okay. All right. Well, that was a book, but I don't know how to... Clearly wants me to... It's not that bad. Oh, ooh la la. Ooh la la. All right, Leo. Ta-da! New moon, new start is coming. You are, this isn't necessarily a brand new start, but this is a new start on something maybe you've done before, or maybe it is a brand new start. Maybe it's something totally different that you've never done before. A new start is coming. So this could be relationships, a new relationship, or a recalibrated relationship you've been in a while. This could be a new job. New starts coming. And then we have these two. I can't separate them out. We have new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. So move forward with determination, with clarity, with that spark, with that fire. I'm seeing a steam locomotive with a fully stoked engine, full of fire, full of power, starting to unleash that and move something forward. And then we have be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. So this again is you taking initiative, you moving forward. You may have been revving for a while, and now it's time to take the foot off the brake and let's go. So be bold, make the first move. So this isn't necessarily be brash, be rash, be irresponsible, be crazy. It's be bold and make the first move. There's nothing here about it shouldn't be planned out. You shouldn't have been anticipating it. There's nothing about random boldness, which I can see a younger me interpreting be bold as in like, do something totally crazy and unplanned. So being bold though here, it's just, make that move, make that first move. It's time to take some action. It's time to take that move. It's time to, pop the clutch and get moving here. So be bold, make the first move. You've got to do something. This is very clear. It's time to take action right now. And you're moving, you're initiating, you are the holder of the initiative in this situation, and it's time for you to move it. And then we have birthing a new age. I don't know why I feel this like exuberance coming through with this reading here, and this excitement and this, birthing a new age, birthing new creations. Again, something new, that newness. I just really see you've been at this red light for a while and it's turning green and it's ready to go. Dreaming a new world into being. So there's a vision that you have here. That's what I'm seeing with this be bold, make the first move. It's not necessarily that this is something that you're just suddenly thinking of. This hasn't been on your mind. You've been dreaming about doing something, and it is time to go punch that gas. I don't know why. There's a lot of car metaphors here. I do like to drive a fast car. So birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, birthing a new age. So very exciting too. I'm getting a little excited. Birthing new creations. Cool. You've been dreaming about this. Okay, so then we also have divine counsel of light, helpers in the subtler realms. So You've got some help here. You've got backup, spiritual backup. You've got assistance here. You've got people that walk beside you, either your own personal ancestors, and even if they were assholes, I believe that their energy has been purified by a return to source, so they can come back and help you from a pure, better place. So Council of Light, divine orchestration. So there's something about divine timing here. You've been waiting, you've been held waiting, but you've been held waiting for a reason. It hasn't been pointless and it hasn't been wasted time. So there's something about divine orchestration, things coming together, things moving together, things shifting and moving in a way that is going to make this work. I'm almost seeing the lights at the intersection, like, so divine orchestration could look like other people getting the stoplight so you can get the green, the go. So, you know, other things being stopped, other things being held held over or on hold while this is your turn and a time to go and move. So helpers in the subtle realms. So some help, some behind the scenes orchestration and help going on for you to help this move nicely. But we also have, it's not all good news, right? Mirror, who or what is triggering you? So there could be part of you that wants a witness here. I'm seeing Mad Max, Fury Road, Witness Me. Also one of my favorite movies. Maybe it's the cars in those movies, I don't know. But mirror, but this can also be, so it can be like wanting a witness, wanting to watch yourself do something, and in a way that can kind of take the intensity off of something is to be the witness to your own life and your own actions, and to take more of a watcher role, even of yourself, even, you know, of watching yourself grow, watching yourself change, and not taking quite so much personal ownership, which can sometimes bring a rigidity to our self-perception, but watching ourselves, seeing ourselves through a bigger perspective, through broader eyes, not talking about dissociation. But who or what is triggering you. So that could be something else too. It could be the trigger for you to, that green light. Who or what is that green light? What is triggering you to move forward here? What's the trigger for you to move forward, which is not a traditional reading of that card. How I normally see that card is who are like, everything's a Rorschach blotch. The whole world is sort of up for our interpretation, and we bring the energy, we bring the interpretation. It's BYOI, bring your own interpretation to literally every conversation, every job you have, every room you enter, you're bringing your own interpretation. And that comes with you everywhere you go. You can't outrun it. You can't move to a new town and suddenly have a totally different suddenly, you know, like, you're bringing your perspective everywhere you go. You bring your perspective. It's unique to you. So you don't need to deny that. It is unique to you. Everyone has a very unique perspective, and you're bringing that into situations, into every situation. So what you're seeing in a situation could be a projection, could be your own interpretation, and not necessarily the truth. I mean, it's always a good idea to, you know, we see what we want to see, we believe what we want to believe. So truth should have a place there, right? So truth, you should want to, it's most useful to you if you want to see the truth and you want to, yeah, rather than your projection, right? So that you could have a negative projection onto something and not seeing the truth, the full possibility of how it could go. You could be also projecting. So there might be some exploration here of where you are projecting, just so that you're prepared for that to be different than what you're seeing, like opening your mind to the possibility that you may be seeing a situation may just be reflecting back onto you your own perceptions, your own ideas about yourself or about reality or about life, right? So a sense of maybe not seeing just a reflection of yourself, which is just how we all are a little bit wired, right? So, all right, Leo, cutting the deck here. If you were here, you'd cut the deck. So traditional tarot cut. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Wow, Cancer just got this same card in the past. All right. Recent past, 2 of emotions. This is a deep connection, seeing eye to eye, understanding and being understood with someone, or maybe even a project. This is kindred spirit, something very kindred, something very close to, maybe coming from two different worlds, two different, very different perspectives on something. I get a little bit of this mirroring card here too. We have sort of, maybe this is someone who's similar to you, but also opposite, right? Because in the mirror we're opposites. But there's a kindredness that there's a kindredness, even though we're coming at something from two totally different directions. And there's a sense of seeing eye to eye. There's a sense of meeting in a deeply emotional space and a deep emotional connection in this space. And yeah, it could have been a moment, could have been a couple years, could have been a couple weeks, but you really, in your past, you have connected deeply and emotionally with someone or something. It really triggered you. It really opened you up, opened your heart up, opened your emotions up. In your current situation, you're experiencing an ending. This is the death card. There's an ending here. There's a maybe this thing is over, or maybe this has given you a glimpse of something else. And so something that wasn't alive, something that didn't have that same connection and that same spark is ending, is over, is completing here. And we're going, the purpose is to reemerge as a new creature, being reborn. In order for there to be a rebirth, in order for this new start, in order for this rebirth, right, we're birthing a new age. But in order for that birthing to happen, there must be death. There must be an ending. Something had to end, must end. So we can't rebirth unless we died. Something in us had to die. Some part of us, some part of our life had to come to an end. It makes space for the rebirth, for the new thing, for the new start. But something came to an end. It had to, it needed to, and now it's being reborn into a new thing, a new creation, a new creature, there's something very new. But you're sitting in the cocoon now, right? Because the cocoon is it functions as the caterpillar's coffin, but the butterfly's womb, right? So the cocoon is both, and so there's a sense of you being on this threshold, in this moment of not being one or the other, not being what you used to be and not being what you will become. The one situation is ended so that another can emerge, but you're sitting in that space, in that threshold between being and non-being, between existence and non-existence, right? Because the threshold, so you're on a threshold right now, and you're having you're neither here nor there. You're in between. You're in the in-between situation here. And then your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, what's on your heart, this 9 of inspiration, exhaustion, the wounded warrior. You might be afraid that you can't go on, especially, with the death card here and this doesn't, obviously this never, not obviously, maybe you don't know. The death card doesn't predict our physical death or it's a death of a part of ourself, a death of a part of our life, the ending. It's just an ending, and its purpose and point is to make room for a new beginning, to begin again, and maybe begin better, begin clearer, to begin more intentionally, again with what we have from the past. So there's a pause here. There's a moment. You are in a moment between two worlds. This 9 of inspiration, you might be worried that you're too tired to go on. You've already crossed some kind of threshold, but there's not been any renewal here. You're still thirsty. You're still hungry. You still might feel like you're dying. You might feel like you don't have the energy for this next thing, right? If you're sitting in the cocoon, you might be looking at the future thinking like, how will I have the energy? How will I have the resources to keep going on, right? Because this is an injury. This is a 9 of inspiration. It talks about sort of a wound, and you're still very much in that wound, but you're looking at the future wondering if you have what it takes, if you can go on, because right now you're in sort of a death and a release mode, and you might be wondering, or you have been in it, and you might what's been on your mind could be about like being able to move on. Can you move on from this wound, from this death? And we have very clearly, yes, you can, but you might be very worried that you're not able to. That more will be required of you in this old situation that seems to be dying and seems to be sucking the life out of you. You may be worried that you will not resurrect, that the caterpillar dies in the cocoon and the butterfly never emerges. You might be worried, or if it does emerge, it's deeply wounded and can't fly and can't do anything because it's just like, my life as a caterpillar was hard. It was too difficult, and we just couldn't rearrange the molecules to be the butterfly. But so we're half a butterfly, and we don't really want to keep going. So you might be feeling like drained, like you don't want to keep going, but that would be normal in sort of a death threshold experience, right? Because that's part of it. That's part of the experience, is that this thing as it is does not keep going. So it's before the new thing comes, it's before the rearrangement. And there's a sense of looking to the future of like, I don't know if this is going to get rearranged right. I don't see that happening, but maybe. So there's a lot of doubt that renewal exists. And then we have in your current, and what's at issue here is the sun in reverse. There's a lack of clarity. There's a lack of growth. There's a lack of exuberance. Again, there's just like, we haven't seen the sun yet. We're still in the cocoon, right? We're still in this darkness. We're still in this death mode here. We're still in the darkness. We haven't seen the sun yet. A new start is coming, right? It's not here yet, and you know it. The new start is not here. There's still a sense of darkness, still a sense of stagnancy. The seed is unsure that it's viable. It's unsure. It's still buried. It's still in the dark. It's still in the coffin, and there's a sense of uncertainty that this is going to emerge, that the seed is viable, that we can rise, and that we can reach out and greet the sun, that growth is possible and clarity is possible, and those good days, those good sunny days are possible. We're just a little exhausted from this death. It kind of took everything out of us, as a death normally would, right? It takes all the life out of you, sucks the life out of you, and you're not sure you're going to be able to emerge. And part of why you haven't emerged yet is you haven't even seen the sun. You haven't felt it on your skin. You haven't had a chance to respond to it. You're still in this darkness. You're still in the death, in the cocoon, in the coffin, or in the womb. You're not sure you're in a womb. Pretty sure this is still a coffin. In your environment, you have Page of Voices. So this is probably someone that you know, maybe a younger person or just a student, someone who's learning something. They're learning something intellectual. Maybe they just went off to college. This is book learning. Somebody's doing some reading, some book learning, some research, some learning of some things. So someone you know is starting school maybe, or going back to school, or just starting to learn and research something. So there's something in your environment, and it could be you having to learn some stuff for a job or something like that, something new coming in that you've got to read up on and figure out what this is, at least intellectually. So there's a lot of intellectual curiosity here and focus, some intellectual curiosity and focus. And they're probably having a pretty good time learning about something. I mean, I find learning to be just extraordinarily exciting. When I'm learning new things, it can be hard to contain my enthusiasm in my body, which is a little weird, right? I'm like reading a book and I'm like, oh, that's so exciting. I have to jump up and down, like it comes out physically, but that is not conducive to reading. So it's a little bit weird for me. Anyway, a little personal story there, I guess. But it could be very exciting, very interesting, very fascinating, learning about something, reading up on something, or however you learn. So inspecting and a lot of intellectual curiosity. Someone here has a lot of intellectual curiosity and wants to see something much more clearly. And they're very excited by something and very motivated. Your to-do list is the Devil card. Wow, you've got some major, or you've got major arcana. I don't know, man, if we're just going to take the overall here, we've got a death, we've got a major ending in our life and a new beginning. we can't see the sun yet, we can't see the new beginning yet, and we got to deal with the devil here. And then we come into power and a sense of entitlement and power to move things and power to orchestrate things. So, but right now the energy you're interacting with is some sort of bond, some sort of bondage. And you're supposed to at least be interacting with it somehow, looking into it. The devil energy here, this is about contracts. So looking into contracts. So the devil energy can be about something that's very appealing to us, for anything from addictions to contracts, right? We have a drink after dinner or with dinner once in a while, pretty, benign, fine, and then it becomes addiction, which is very difficult to unravel from. So this could be signing a contract. Not becoming an alcoholic, but it can deal with that, with addiction issues, right? Because the devil card is anything that was enticing. It can be marriage. It can be signing a new lease or signing a mortgage or a new job, signing a contract for a new job, or it can be addiction. It's something that looked appealing, but it's difficult to get out of. It's not, we can't just willy-nilly walk away from it. It's going to take some effort. It would take effort and work. So that's basically what the commitment is this like we're creating a situation in which we won't be able to easily back out of it. So it could be a commitment to recovery. It could be a commitment to, it could be a contract, right? We have this new start coming, taking action. It could be signing a contract. It's not to say that we're never supposed to sign contracts. It's just to like be aware and consciously, with a lot of awareness, getting into a contract and a commitment. So making a commitment that you're not going to easily be able to wiggle out of. So considering a commitment, considering a contract, you might be doing that. Counting the cost, though, of what you're getting involved in, taking a clear-eyed view of the fact that you're not going to easily be able to get out of this. But I do like that we're getting some butterfly energy here, some emergence. So maybe possibly, you're ending something, you're quitting something, you're leaving something behind, and possibly you're emerging, but with a new commitment, with a new bonds, new commitment to something. And you're either dealing with a commitment that you have already made, or you're making a new commitment. But this is definitely an encouragement to be intentional about that, to be specific about what exactly you're committing to read the fine print, and understand that you will not be able to easily wiggle out of this. Well, it's a cocoon, right? We're wiggling out of it, and it's not going, it wouldn't ever be easy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it wouldn't be easy to wiggle out of this commitment. So the devil, making a deal with the devil, and considering your commitment. Thoughtfully considering a commitment. Wide-eyed, understanding what it means to do this. And then where you're going, Emperor. Emperor often raises questions for me more than answers, but questions about who's in charge, who's in control. But the Emperor has a sense of being connected to the flow of the universe, being connected to life, and being able to orchestrate. This is the director. This is the director of creative work, or the conductor. Being able to set the pace, set the tone, and stepping into that power, stepping into that role of ownership, owning a process and owning the flow, and understanding that you get to conduct the energy, understanding that you're conducting power and life force, and you're sort of at the center of some sort of and your leadership. You're leading and conducting the flow of life, the flow of energy, something like that. And there's a sense of entitlement here to being in charge and to owning the energy of a space, and to owning your energy. And to, there's also a sense of being able to delegate, being entitled to delegate. Obviously, we don't want to do this as an asshole, but you know, being entitled to delegate, being there's a sense of entitlement to this power and this energy. You own it, and there's a sense of ownership of your leadership position. All right, Leo, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and we'll see you guys in a fortnight.